So let's talk about adding people to your VIP group. So I have a different method to the madness when it comes to this sort of thing. So I'm going to break it to you slowly. First, I wanted to say that I love seeing the discrepancy between how many friends you have versus how many people are in your VIP group, because that tells me that you're adding a lot of people to your network constantly and regularly, which is what you have to do to succeed in this business. So I want to say first that I don't claim to be an expert in anything, and certainly not an expert at VIP groups. I'm sure there's people who have done it better than I'm doing, but I've really found my way with my VIP group, and I've gotten it to a point now where 90% of my sales come from that VIP group. As well as a lot of my party hostesses come from that VIP group. A lot of everything that I do comes from my VIP group, and that wasn't always the case. I struggled with my VIP group for a long time, probably about a year. It was really just a dead place for me, and I would share things occasionally, but it wasn't doing anything for me. And when I started with Younique, I set up my VIP group, and I had about 200 people in it. And that was pretty much all of my female friends at the time. And since that time, I now have over 2,000 friends. And I was sitting there frustrated that I have all of these friends who I can't put in my VIP group, because I've been trained that you do not add people to your VIP group unless you've asked them permission. So I was frustrated, because the VIP group is so useful because you can really create a culture and a brand in it, unlike anything else. You can create meaningful relationships with the people in it. You can create your brand. You can create a culture where it is something that the people in your VIP group look forward to your posts, which is really like the absolutely best thing that you can do for your business, is having a group of people who look forward to you sharing your business with them. And then also, I have over 2,000 friends. I don't know what it's at right now, but I have over 2,000 friends. There's no way I can see 2,000 people on my feed. So there are people who are just never, even if you're friends with them, they're just never going to see the stuff that you post, because you're not seeing them and you're not interacting with them. And so they're not interacting with you, and you're just never going to see each other. No matter how many friends. This would be true if you have 200 friends. It's just the way the algorithms on Facebook work. You're never going to see all of those people's posts. But in a group, you're always going to get more interaction in a group. Now, I know you might be thinking, no, I always get more interaction when I post on my profile, on my Facebook page. Sorry, I'm getting a cold, so I apologize for the sniffling. And that is true right now, because you have more friends than you do in your VIP group. So if you have 500 friends and you have 100 people in your VIP group, you're always going to get more posts, more interaction on your profile page. But you're not getting interaction from 500 people, right? You have, if you have a group with 500 people and you have 500 Facebook friends, and you have the same post in each place, you're going to get more interaction in a group, because many reasons, but you're going to get more interaction in the group because Facebook automatically, by default, subscribes people to notifications in groups by their friends. And if you added them to your group, you're probably friends. And highlights, the posts that are getting a lot of interactions. And if you've been following my suggested posts, you're posting a lot of things that require a lot of interaction. All of your posts are going to become highlights for that reason. So this is why we did a little assessment to see where your group stands. We want your group to be something that is not spammy and not boring. And you might feel like your group is boring because it doesn't have a lot of interaction, but that's not the same as having a group that doesn't have much substance and doesn't have much value, those would be things that are boring. You can post and people might not comment. That's not your fault, but you're still posting things that are of value and interest and helpful. So if you took the assessment and you didn't pass, if you will, I want you to spend the rest of the week and through the weekend getting it to that point where you could look back at the last 10 days worth of posts and it would pass. Because I'll be gone through the weekend. I mean, I'm technically here tomorrow, but I probably won't be working. But I'll be gone through the weekend, so I won't be posting much. So it'll be on you to come up with your own posts and get to that point. But when you're at that passing level, then your group has a culture where you're ready to add people to it. Now, I already hinted at the fact that I add people a little bit differently because most of us were trained that you, under no circumstances, add people to your group without their permission. But I want you to think about this. If someone asks you, I sell something and I want to know if I can put you in a group where I spam people, would that be okay with you? What would your answer be? What would the answer be of anyone that you know? What would your best friend say? Most people are going to say no. They just don't have time for that. And when you ask someone, can I add you to my VIP group? That's what they hear, especially if they know other unique presenters. If they know other unique presenters, they're probably in a ton of other unique groups where most people run their group like it's a constant open party. And that is something that's very spammy and annoying and not interesting and boring. And most people just can't afford to shop all the time. So that is why I don't ask people, because they're not hearing what I really want to tell them. I want to add them to a group where I can have fun talking about makeup and beauty and share some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, and that they will find value. I want you guys to spend this time through the rest of the week and over the weekend to make sure that your group is in a place where when people are added to your group, they're going to be excited, they're going to be interested, they're going to start asking questions, and they're going to want to engage with your posts. So make sure that you feel comfortable with the state that your group is in. That's why it's important that you're not asking for things. If the first post that they see is, I need party hostesses, who's going to host my party? Or I'm super close to a promotion, who's going to buy something for me? Then they're going to go, this is a place for spam, and I'm out. So make sure that your group is followed all the guidelines that I put in the post that's pinned to the top of this group, and make sure that you are having a good time with the people who are in there currently. Posting things that cause them to comment and replying to their comments, and posting things that are funny and engaging. And then we'll talk about how you go about adding people. I will say this. I, over the course of a couple weeks, added over 1,000 people to my group without asking. And you're not going to add 1,000 people at one time. Don't worry. I don't want you to panic. But I did over a period of time, added over 1,000 people to my group so that I could get my group. I now have 1,500 people in my group, and I have just over 2,000 friends. So, minus the men in my friends list, that's probably most of the women. A few people left the group, and I had an overwhelmingly positive response from the people added to my group. I had people who messaged me that I had never had any contact with. I never saw them in my feed on my personal profile, and we had never had any likes or comments or shared engagement whatsoever until I added them into my group. And now they're messaging me, asking me how they order, or they're asking questions about products that they see posts about, or they're thanking me for adding them. Some people even went back through several days worth of posts and liked every post. So I had an overwhelmingly positive response to using this method. So I don't want you to be too scared or too overwhelmed. Let's just take the baby steps. make sure that come Monday, your group is ready to rock and roll. Your group is something that you want to be a part of, something that your best friend would want to be a part of, that it's something that people in the group are going to look forward to seeing your posts and seeing your interaction in them. So I hope you're excited. And Monday will be fun, and it won't be scary, I promise. And I'm sorry that this was so long. I hope you guys have a great night, and mwah!